Hello and welcome to episode 146 of Heroes of Handheld, made by your pals here at Heroes of Handheld Towers. My name is Chris and I'm here to talk to you this week about all things mobile gaming, handheld gaming, geopolitics. I'm joined by Colin Byrne. He's over there. Hi, Colin.
I'm over here in the corner. There's a song in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think you've lost your religion, haven't you?
Lost my what?
Lost your religion.
Yeah, I think so.
A really good reference. So, have you been? Are you well?
I like the massive Olaf that's on your shelf behind you.
Yeah, you might. People who pay attention might notice there's been a bit of a redesign of my the studio space here at Handheld Towers.
Suitcases on top of the wardrobe, just in case the relationship goes a bit sour. All ready to go,
or a holiday. They're not pre-packed. I've just got one night's change of clothes in and a big bottle of drink just in case it all goes wrong.
It's your breakup supplies. I love it.
How are things with you? What have you been doing this week?
They are good. I'm sitting here and I'm actually not sitting in the darkness anymore. I've been doing a thing called love. I turned the light on and it really has been a revelation. You know, of the film Pitch Perfect. I saw the signs.
Yeah. Ba-da-ba. Ooh, I got a new love.
Oh my god, that bit. Oh, I love that bit. So good. Anyway, the lyric in that is I saw the signs and I was thinking I saw the light. But yeah, I sort of felt that. I Saw the Light is the name of the film by Tom Hiddleston.
Oh yeah, of him playing. Who's he playing? Mo,
singer, country guy.
I
saw the light.
No one podcast until Hank Williams.
You are the best with film knowledge, it would seem. But apart from that, I've been playing some video games because that is what this podcast is all about. Really, we like to play games every now and then. And I can't actually remember whether I mentioned this last week. I think I may have done. It's called. I've been playing a game on my PlayStation Vita, shock horror, called Grand Kingdom. I might have mentioned this last week. I see it was in the notes. I can't actually remember how much I played last week. But this is a tactical RPG role, turn-based strategy game from NIS America. And what's interesting and what is the unique selling point for, in terms of me playing this game is the fact I've never played one of these games before, and I'm quite an impatient gamer. And by that, I mean, I don't like games where you have to do a lot of planning, a lot of build up. I love to get straight in on the action and play, just load the game up, get straight in, no tutorials, no nothing, straight in. So games like FIFA, Call of Duty, Battlefront, they're my faves. They are my faves. I like a bit of Killzone Mercenary as well, same sort of thing. But tactical RPGs are games I've not really ever had a go with. But I've played quite a bit of it over the past week, and I'm absolutely in love with this. It does require me to sort of change my gaming ways and be very patient and do a lot of planning, but it's all worthwhile because it's a very interesting premise. Now, I've got no other games to compare this to because I've not actually played any other games in the genre before. But the game, basically, you are a group of mercenaries. You're trying to make a name for yourself in the kingdom. In this massive kingdom, there's 4 regions who are fighting for power. It's like a battle for the... it's a bit like Game of Thrones in the way, where there's just no peace. Everyone's just battling each other to try and be top of the pile. And you're a mercenary group trying to make your name, trying to help out each of the regions if they pay you enough money. You can choose a region to support, or you can go through all of them and get your... reputation up with each of them. But the overlying story is how you are a mercenary group trying to make a name for yourself, build up your prestige, and basically get people to take you seriously. And there's quests you can do. You can go online and play against other players in quests and things like that as well. It's cross-play with PS4, which is interesting. But what I really like about it is that the main game is in the gameplay, the visuals. It's in when you go into a quest, it's in the form of a big game board. So you have a certain amount of moves to reach an objective. So you are a little chess piece. and you move along the board, and every now and then you'll come across enemies, you'll come across different obstacles which are going to stop you from reaching the target, so natural disasters and things like that. And you'll either have to battle enemies to move forward, or you'll have to use your resources or use your cunning to get around all these natural disasters to get to the objectives. And when you're in battle, it's turn-based combat. So it's a 2D art design. So your team starts on the left side, the other team starts on the right side, and you take in turns to battle. Each person gets a go. You can choose where your players start before the quest begins. You can choose your formation, you can choose the weapons, things like that. So many customization options for this game. Really is addictive. Really is, I think, a great story with it and a great premise as well. I really love the game board art style because it's sort of because you're looking down on it, you get, in my opinion, it gives you the feeling that you're like a game master overlooking, looking down on proceedings, and your moves change the way the battle plays out. And you can use loads of resources and skills to alter how enemies move. So enemies move around the board as little chess pieces as well. And really, you got to try and avoid them if you can. I mean, obviously, in battles, you get your XP up, but for certain quests, you only have a certain amount of moves. And if you spend too much time in the battle, that takes up a lot of your moves. And if you run out, you fail the quest. But it's a really interesting idea. I've, as I said, never played a game like this before, and I can't get enough of it. I really am enjoying it. There's a likable cast of characters. The voice acting, I think, is very good. I've seen a lot of reviews criticizing it, but I think it's absolutely fine. Characters are likable, all have their own personality, and it's just a lot of fun as well. It's colourful to look at. It's an interesting idea. There's online gameplay. It's just fascinating. You play it offline if you want. There's still quests and things, but if you play online, there's loads of new missions that are added all the time. And what's nice is that it's cross-play with the PlayStation 4 version, which is very cool in my opinion. So I just wanted to talk about that. I have been playing that quite a lot this week, and I thought it was just a revelation, because over the past few years, there's been games that I've played that I never thought I'd ever play. So I played JRPG a few years ago, and I absolutely loved it. I've played games where I'm battling massive ants around London town, which was also interesting. I've played very odd Japanese cat games, and it's just nice. Like on the PlayStation Vita, there's such a diverse range of games that I'm broadening my gaming horizons, and that's continuing with this game. It's called Grand Kingdom, and it's available in North America and Europe. It's been available for about a month now. Came out initially last year in Japan, I believe, but it's a lot of fun. Really enjoying it, and I'm definitely going to be playing a lot more of it. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this week.
I reckon that our listeners will be able to really recommend you some good similar titles, like that kind of top-down strategy RPG genre. If you're just now getting into it, and the idea of kind of playing as someone in control of all these different characters, each with different abilities and movement sets, you will find that our listeners will have an absolute wealth of recommendations. For my money, you should try Final Fantasy Tactics if you've not, because I think that is the for me, those games are the pinnacle of a top-down strategy RPG. Fire Emblem, if you can get a way of playing it, is very good as well. But good. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, there's most likely loads and loads of different ones.
And on Vita as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I know there's a lot of the genre on the PlayStation Vita, so I'm very excited to try some more. But what have you been playing this week, Chris?
Well, apart from a little something called Pokemon Go, which I've been just a little something, a little something I've been dabbling with. I've been playing a lot of Counter Spy this week. Now we talked about this
too soon
when it was first kind of coming out back in July 2014, would you believe, 2 years ago.
Wow.
And at the time, I remember you were obsessed with this game. You were like, I can't wait to play it. It looks like a Pixar film. It looks like a James Bond film. I really want it. How far into Counter Spy have you got, Colin?
Still working on it.
Okay, still not quite across it.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'm really enjoying it. You play as it's set during the Cold War. There's kind of the people who are a bit like America and the people who are a bit like Russia. You play as someone from this kind of middle organization that's trying to stop either.
I'm about to catch a Meowth, just so you're aware. There's a Meowth in my living room. I'm on it. I'm on
You
it.
know, I've still not got Meowth. I've got 60 fucking Pokemon, but every time I find a Meowth, it just runs off.
Sorry, mate. It's done. He's caught. Look at that. He's staying in the ball. He ain't going anywhere. Oh, is he
Isn't he?
staying? Is he staying? Is he staying? Is he staying? Yeah, he's mine.
Jammy sod.
Two
Um,
Meowths. Yeah. Right.
So yeah, you play as this kind of middle organization called Counter. You have to stop either side getting particularly close to DEFCON 0, which is obviously when the nukes start flying. I enjoy it for I think the style of it is really good. I think the music is really nice. I think the visuals are really good. I think it's very clever in the way you kind of have that option of being very stealthy or going loud or avoiding everyone. I would say it's can be a little frustrating because you'll be in a mission and one thing will go wrong and suddenly you'll like jump down 2 DEFCON levels and then it takes a long time to get things to a place where you're happy. Because obviously you want everything to be at DEFCON 5 because that's the kind of safest it can be, and then you can sort of go in and not have to worry about rushing it, because if the DEFCON level does hit 0, you have to run all the way to the end of the level, which can be really annoying. I think it's really interesting because you play it's 2D, but you will occasionally hit like kind of cupboards or blocks on the floor. You can go into cover, and when you do that, it becomes like an over-the-shoulder type job. So it kind of the camera almost rotates 90 degrees to be behind you, which is a really interesting move. I think it doesn't always work because the game is mainly 2D, but sometimes 3D. It can just be a little bit frustrating when you can't hit the person you want to hit because you can't get a sense of them in the 2D space. But I'm enjoying it. I'm on the last level, so I'm about to finish it. I'll probably finish it tonight after we do this. I'll go downstairs and just finish it off because I'm curious to see what happens. I do think it's a really clever set of ideas. I think it's slightly frustrating game design sometimes, but I think it's really good. And I think you turn it on and it feels like you're like the man from Uncle or Bond or Archer or any of those kind of sort of pulpy spy things. So yeah, it's good, and I would recommend it. I don't know how it plays on Vita. I'm playing on PS4, but I'm under the impression you can move your saves across and stuff, so probably worth checking out if you can. Apart from that, just Pokemon Go, really.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at playing it, and I watched loads of videos of when it was at Gamescom, I think it was 2 years ago now. It was interesting how it went from the stealth elements, I think it was, to the combat, when you had to shoot enemies and things like that.
Those bits are quite frustrating as well. But
yeah, it didn't look very smooth. When I saw the videos for it, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean, I actually never see it on sale. Which is very interesting because normally every game goes on sale.
I think it kind of came and went a little bit. Like I was under the impression that it's not had a lot of love from the store. I don't think it got much promotion and stuff. You feel like it could I don't know. I think I did see it I think I got it from PlayStation Plus.
Maybe. I didn't realize it was on
PlayStation Plus.
I don't think
it is the title that kind of would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, it was from March 2015.
God, really? That long ago? Yeah. I vaguely remember that going on. Oh, just fun fact for you. Can you believe it's been a year since our 100th episode?
No, I couldn't believe it when you text me about that.
Fucking crazy. We're almost at 150. Insane.
I know, mental. We'll have to have a party. Jamie Vardy style.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy having a party. Anyway, right, so that's cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I will check it out at some point. Talking of sales, there's actually quite a big sale going on the PlayStation Vita store at the moment. The name of the sale is Save Up to. It's not very catchy. Normally, Sony are good at thinking up catchy titles for their sales. This one's just called Save Up to 70% on PlayStation Vita games. Very catchy. So a load of different PlayStation Vita games on offer here. We've got Unit 13 for £4. That's a great game. Flower is £3.29. We've got PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale is £3.99. Little Big Planet Vita version is £4 as well. Sonic and All-Star Racing Transformed is £6.19. And the game that's interesting me is Worms Revolution Extreme, which is £3.29. So I might check that out. But a load of the games there on offer. I mean, they're pretty much games that have been on offer, every other day, really. But it's nice to see that they are still on offer. And a load of new games on the PlayStation Store, actually, the Vita Store at the moment, actually. We've got Type Rider, that game which is all about fonts, is now available to download. Lumo is available on Vita as well. Also, 10-Second Ninja X, Spy Charmeleon, and a load of other cool games are now available on PlayStation Vita. So it now is a great time. I mean, though people bash the PlayStation Vita, I reckon now is actually a great time to purchase one because there's so many games on the Vita, really. People bash it for not having any games, but there are so many. There's so many interesting little indie games, and I mean, games for the AAA titles from the past are on there as well. So, and you can pick them up really cheap as well because they're always on offer, on sale on the store. So I think it's a great time to get a Vita. Why don't you buy a Vita?
Isn't it? And you can play Counter Spy. So what more could you want?
What more could you want? So before we get on to the main news, just wanted to quickly mention something about Telltale and their Batman game, which we're all very excited about. I believe, I forget. I think it's the 2nd of August.
Yes, very soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's next week. Can't wait for that. It's going to be amazing. But this is very interesting. Telltale are looking into creating a form of multiplayer mode in their games. Now, you might be thinking, how are they going to manage this? Because it's quite a single-player experience, really, the Telltale games. Like, it's a story-focused gameplay. You choose options. Your playthrough might be unique to other people's playthrough. This is really interesting what they are looking at doing. So they're going to be premiering this with the Batman game, which is out next week, and it's called Crowd Play.
This looks really exciting. I'm just reading up about it. I think this actually looks really cool.
So this was premiered at the San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend. I actually didn't realize what's this. Oh, of course, there was loads of trailers. Of course, it was this weekend. Duh. But they're going to be doing something called Crowd Play. And how this works is basically up to 2,000 people. Yeah, that's 2,000 people. That's the maximum.
It actually says upwards of 2,000 players.
Wow.
That could be more. That's gone to Shaq News.
Wow. Basically, when you play the Batman game, people can come in and watch you play the game as well. And how it works is when the options come up to make a decision, so you have like normally 4 conversation options. Obviously you'll make the decision, but then you'll see a crowd option where the people watching your gameplay can decide what they think you should do. And what you can do is either listen to their advice or ignore it. So it's really interesting. So it's basically still the same game, but rather than just have the options for you to choose, you'll also see a little thing on the screen that tells you what the people watching your game think you should choose, which I think is really interesting. And the people at Telltale said this idea stemmed from in years gone past when someone would be playing a game on a handheld device or on mobile, whatever, and you'd get your friends and family looking over your shoulder and watching you play it. So that's the general idea, is that they wanted something where people can watch others play the game and then they can give their input as well and give their opinion on what the player should do. And how it's going to work is that the host is given a URL and then they can give that URL to their friends and family, anyone on the internet, and the people enter that URL into their phone, onto their computer, onto their Mac, onto their PC, wherever they're on, and that will give them the ability to log in and watch this person's unique gameplay for this Batman game. So it's very interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it all how it goes and how people respond to it. It's an interesting idea. I mean, it doesn't really add much. I mean, obviously, it's nice to know that. I mean, if you're a bit, I say big YouTuber, but if you've got a bit of a following, I think this is going to benefit people like, your PewDiePies and Markiplier and people like that who make their fortune on YouTube out of gameplay videos, because they can play the game, and rather than people wait for them to edit the video and upload it to YouTube or wherever, they can straight away be in the game with them, and watch them play it.
Yeah, you can see like a PewDiePie or someone, well, maybe not PewDiePie, but someone like that kind of saying like, hey guys, I'm going to stream Batman. You get to choose what happens.
Yes, yeah. So it's
someone who can attract. I mean, maybe not. Someone who can attract 2,000 people. Are we allowed to talk about PewDiePie because of the bad thing?
What's the bad thing? Hey, I am in Team PewDiePie's corner. What's the bad thing? Are you gonna say the news article that was badly researched by the BBC and was quickly seen as incorrect and false? Go on, lay it on me. What's PewDiePie done? Come on.
Well, wasn't it to do with? he took money for a video,
He did.
but didn't suitably tell people that he was taking money for the video. Like he told them a bit, but not properly. Is that
Well,
not right?
here's the thing, Chris.
Because
That's not the
that's
case.
what the court found, isn't it?
No. When this happened 2 years ago, and this is back when the whole paid for, where gaming developers and publishers pay YouTubers to play their games and give their opinion on it just to promote it. This is back before there were any guidelines on this, where YouTubers didn't actually have to say that they were being paid to advertise a game. After this, about a year after, some rules and regulations came in place regarding it, because back then it was quite a new thing. But even back then, in the video, in the description, PewDiePie said that it was a paid-for advertisement, and he actually wrote that in the description of the video.
But he didn't say it in the video, did he?
He didn't say it in the video, no, but he put it in the description at the bottom, which is all he had to do. Really, I mean, YouTubers do that all the time. I mean,
so it's Warner Brothers' fault, not his fault.
Well, it's not Warner Brothers' fault. I don't think it's anyone's fault, really, because as I said, this is back when there wasn't really any rules and regulations on this, because it was such a new idea, like paying YouTubers to talk about games. But then there are obviously rules and regulations now. So I personally think PewDiePie didn't do anything wrong. And obviously, because he's the most popular YouTuber, people straight away, drag his name through the dirt and think that he's the one that's to blame for all this. But I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just biased because I do watch his videos and I do find him very entertaining. And what I like about him is that he's not one of these, like, you get all these YouTubers who are like doing all these meetups and they're going to all these crappy book signings and doing live tours and shit like that. PewDiePie doesn't do that. He just does his videos. And that's what he does. He does what he's good at. He doesn't try and branch out. I mean, he did release a terrible book, but we don't talk about that. I mean, all YouTube, everyone releases a book every now and then.
I mean, he is touring. He has toured before.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has. He's toured for his book, for the book that you just said was terrible.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
Send me a link. I want link proof.
I'm just reading about it. PewDiePie announced his tour date for his book.
That's a lie. It's internet lies. He would never do such a thing. That's not what the Brofist is all about.
Leeds last year, Manchester last year. But I mean, you love him because he doesn't do books or tours or anything bad like that, Colin.
Chris, I've only got one thing to say to you.
Go on.
Brofist. That's a PewDiePie reference right there.
Oh, okay, I wouldn't know because I don't watch his videos. I'm sure he's a lovely man. I'm just rustling your ribs, Colin.
What you do is you watch YouTubers who really want to make a name for themselves and rip them to shreds and pull them through the dirt and say they're a waste of space and they're shit at what they do.
Sorry?
Nothing. Right, so let's talk about...
Sorry, mate. Bully a child in a YouTube video. Apparently it's okay. Let's talk about that one.
Why did I bully a child?
It wasn't you. It's a reference to an ongoing YouTuber. Don't worry.
Juice.
Right. Colin,
anyway.
What's news? Tell me about news.
Well, I mean, it's a bit scattershot, my news this week. Got some new game announcements and something that you might care about, but I really don't care about. So first thing I'm going to talk about something that appeared on the PlayStation Vita subreddit, on Reddit, about a new game that's coming out called Forgotten Sanctuary. I believe this is Forgotten Sanctuary. I'm just reading this. So, after working away in secret for months, it comes as a great relief to formally announce Forgotten Sanctuary, a traditional survival horror adventure game, which is coming out on PlayStation Vita. It's being worked on by a team who have an enormous passion for survival horror games of years gone by, and they feel like such games still have a place in today's world. I mean, I don't know whether we've spoken about this before. That name Forgotten Sanctuary really does ring a bell.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
So, I mean, just looking at some more information on this game. I mean, in terms of horror games on the PlayStation Vita, I've only played one real horror game, and that was called Home. That was a really interesting one, actually. That was a 2D pixelated adventure where you have to find out what's happened to your partner, and you want to get home to find out because you think something bad's happened. And depending on what choices you make, it alters the outcome of the story. Okay. That was a really interesting idea. And I mean, I don't know much about this. There's no details on here as to when this is coming out on PlayStation Vita either. But it sounds interesting. Forgotten Sanctuary. I mean, this got a lot of hype on the PlayStation Vita Reddit this week. Let's go see if I can find a bit more information on it. I mean, the article I found doesn't really give any information on the game itself. It just says it's coming soon, which isn't really Good. We want more information than that, don't we, Chris? So whilst I search for this,
Okay.
let's talk about how you've been finding PlayStation Go.
Sorry, what? How I've been finding what? Sorry?
PlayStation Go.
What's PlayStation Go?
Not PlayStation Go. Pokemon Go.
I've been finding it pretty well. I have spent a lot of time hatching eggs because I've got to a point, Colin, I'm going to be honest with you, where I'm getting a bit annoyed with. I've stopped evolving Pokemon for now because so many times I've evolved a Pokemon and then found a stronger, like, base level one. And it's like if I had saved my candy, I'd be able to get an even stronger one. So I'm a bit irked about that. So I've been playing it a lot. I played it in Hyde Park on Sunday, and oh boy, there was Pokemon everywhere. Got myself a couple of Oddishes. They were quite good. And
Shit about Oddish. Come on.
Hey, I like Oddish. My best at the moment is Wilfred the Hypno. Steve the Seadra is also doing very well. Gary Golbat is good. I'm very close to hatching a 10k egg. I'm going to go out after this and just walk outside for 10 minutes to hatch it. Yeah, life is pretty good. You know, the gym. I think gyms need work. I think they're going to address that. I think overall, though, I'm enjoying it. Are you still playing?
I am still playing a lot.
I thought you'd have given up by now, if I'm honest.
You think? Why would you think I'd given up?
Because I think you don't know. Right, okay. I don't think you're a great Pokemon. Like, you're not super into Pokemon. And when
I was younger, I used to love Pokemon.
But like RN, you're not. And I thought that you on mobile games, they tend to come and go a bit. And I thought you'd play this for a week, maybe two, and then move on to the next big thing. So that's what I thought.
I'm so addicted to
I'm
it.
glad you're enjoying it.
I'm level 11. What level are you?
I just turned 18 today.
Oh, that's good. Can you finally buy a drink now? Can you go to the pub?
Yeah, I'm finally legal if I want to do that thing with Jinx.
Nice. Nicki Minaj.
Jinx, by the way, I don't know if you have this, but it's weird how common certain Pokemon are. Because like Rattata, Pidgey, and the bugs, I get. But why are the Drowsies everywhere?
They are honestly everywhere in my hometown.
It's so weird, isn't it? Like, they're not meant to be that common, but they're apparently everywhere.
Get it? They're like it's a weird one as well because they're weird looking fellows, aren't they? Like they're wiggling fingers. What I'm finding though, as I level up, I'm finding that I'm finding it harder to actually catch Pokemon. Like I'll get a Rattata or a Pidgey, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 Pokeballs to catch them for some reason. Now I'm level 11. I don't know whether it's because they're getting stronger because I'm getting more leveled up, but I just don't get it. But I'm so close to being able to evolve a Zubat. So I'm very excited about that.
That's good. But then again, it's like you could evolve it, or you can hold fire for a week and get an even better one.
Why will I hold fire?
Because then you'll catch a Zubat who's at a better CP. So if you can get like what's your highest Zubat at the moment? Say it's what, like 100?
The highest what?
What's your highest level Zubat at the moment?
My highest level Zubat is 124.
So if you evolve that Zubat, you'll get a Golbat that's about 500, something like that. Or you could try and catch, because as you level up, the base level of the Pokemon you encounter gets stronger. So then if you can find like a 300 Zubat, spend the same amount of candy you would to evolve this one as evolving that one, you'll be in the money. You'll have a much better Golbat off the bat.
You, sir, talk a lot of sense.
So that's why I'm frustrated, Colin, because I don't want to ever evolve anything, because what if I find a better one down the road? Like I've got a Squirtle, which I evolved when I had my candy because I was really excited to get Wartortle. But since then, I've caught a Squirtle that's stronger than the Wartortle my original one evolved into. So just hold fire, you know? Be patient, be calm, be kind, be good, be just.
That is some great logic there, pal.
Yeah.
Actually, talking of Squirtle, I really want Squirtle, but I was walking down the road home this morning, and I saw, not this morning, this evening, and I saw Squirtle, and I really wanted it, but then I was already stuck trying to get a Poliwag, and it was gone by the time.
Poliwag's a good egg.
I like Poliwag. Who's your most powerful Pokemon?
Hypno, Wilfred.
I've got Hypno. He's pretty high up, thanks to all those Drowsies. I've got quite a powerful Hypno now.
Keep feeding the candy, mate.
I'm really liking Magma. I've got a Magma. liking him. For some reason, he was chilling out down the beach.
How did you get a magma?
He was chilling out by the beach for some reason.
You don't know how jammy you are.
I've also got a Rapidash as well. That's my fave. Literally, I saw one town centre. I got for some reason all these fire Pokemon are down on the beach for some reason.
Yeah, they love the sand, don't they?
What's going on there? But I caught my Rapidash and I got a Kingler as well, which I'm happy with. I've got a few Pidgeotos now because I keep getting Pidgeys. I caught a couple of new ones actually over the past 3 days. I caught a Goldeen, which I hadn't caught yet.
Goldeen.
I got a Jigglypuff.
Mm-hmm.
Who else did I catch recently? I got loads of Magikarps there as well. I got an Abra, a Vulpix, and the one that's just like a big ball, Voltorb.
Oh, Voltorb.
Yeah, I got a few of those ones today as well.
I've got a good range. I'm hoping to get something good out of this egg,
Yeah, all I've got out of eggs so far is a Jigglypuff, a Magmite, and a Magikarp. So I've not done too well so far with those eggs.
Should we? I feel like we should get on with the news because we took a diversion and we're still there.
Get on with it then, Sam.
So, Colin Bird.
Hi.
Let's do some NX rumors because there's been another batch of them today. This is coming from Eurogamer, but other places are reporting this as well. Apparently, Nintendo's upcoming NX will be a portable handheld with detachable controllers. A number of sources have told Eurogamer. So you'll be able to use it on the move. The NX will function as a high-powered handheld console with its own display. But you can also, the screen will be bookended by kind of two different controllers, which can be taken off and moved around, stitched together, all that kind of job, which is very clever. And when you get home, you'll be able to connect the unit onto your TV so you can use it on the big screen. Wow. I think this is really interesting. Apparently, it's going to run cartridges as well, which is good. Cartridges cheaper to make, not cheaper to make, sorry. I think they are now more expensive to make than discs, but I think they can have more storage or something. Maybe it's the other way around. Anyway, so that'll be interesting. We look forward to, you can get like a 32 gig cartridge, which is nice. Obviously, Blu-ray discs can go up to about 50. I don't know what I'm saying with this cartridge stuff, so I'm going to move on. But yeah, this looks really interesting. I guess we'll see what happens with this story. We'll know more sometime soon. I think this is the most credible rumor so far, but I still think it's a bit TBC. So we'll see what happens with that. And it comes out March 2017, so not all that far away.
You stop yawning, please. It really does offend people when you yawn.
So that's happened. Also, because we're racing through, because we both want to go outside and play Pokemon Go.
We want to watch the final Big Brother, for God's sake.
Colin?
You think I'm joking, mate? Yeah.
Do you remember this thing called Animal Crossing? New Leaf?
What? Yeah, I remember Animal Crossing.
Do you remember this? So Nintendo have told everyone that this game's been out for years, like literally years. Like it's one of the first games I remember getting on my 3DS. And they're going to do a massive update to it in autumn. You're going to be able to finally use your amiibos, which is very exciting. And also, they're going to be bringing a load of, how they've got like themed content. So like, Zelda decorations, Mario decorations, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to be adding a load of decorations from Splatoon, which is really interesting because that kind of shows to me that Nintendo are keen on investing in Splatoon as like a long-term game. So I hope this will come out in the autumn. Europe is getting the update as well. North America, everyone is. And it's going to come with amiibo functionality for both the cards and the figures and also Splatoon stuff. So you'll hopefully be able to move characters in that you've got the cards for into your town by scanning them, which would be good.
That's very good.
So we'll post a link to a thing where you can read about this to get a bit more in-depth info, but it looks really good to me.
Chris, whilst you are there looking pretty, I'm going to put a link into the Google Drive, which I'd like you to...
Okay, well, it's your turn to...
You've already got it. Bail. It's already in the Google Drive.
Okay, do your news. Come on.
As you can see, I've not really done much prep this week, so that's
not like you, Colin.
So a new game has been announced for PlayStation Vita, and it's called Macross Delta Scramble. And no, it's not about how to best prepare your scrambled eggs. It's a game by Bandai Namco and developer Art Dink, and they have announced this game for PlayStation Vita. It's an action shooting hybrid that naturally lets you control flyable mechas through missions that cover the story of Macross Delta up to episode 13. So I believe Macross Delta is an anime of some description or a manga, something like that. But a lot of these big old mech fighting games have been coming out recently, and they look so cool. So if you love Transformers, you love Power, that big robot that they used to transform into at the end of Power Rangers, where they get all these little vehicles, and it'd be like a really big mechanical thing. And there was always like I always wondered how it moved, because it was like so clunky looking. And then they battle some big dragon or some big crocodile or something ridiculous like that. That's so good. And then like they'd all like come down from the ceiling into their cockpits in this big old humanoid mech, and then they'd like do loads of hand signals, like they'd do loads of fist bumps in unison with each other. Power Rangers, power.
Did you know that Power Rangers was, when they're in the suits, it was dubbed?
What?
So the guys that were doing the acting that you see with the suits off, like the actors, weren't the people that were doing all the kung fu.
You what, mate?
So the people doing the kung fu were martial artists, and then the kids were just doing the bits where you could see their faces. That's how they did all the flips and stuff.
That is disgusting.
And that's how it came. Was so popular in Japan, because obviously that the bits where they're doing the flips, you can just dub over, because you never see their mouths move. Isn't that amazing?
That hurts a little bit,
Did you know that? Because I had no idea. I only found out last year.
Well, not really a surprise, is it? You really think they weren't really hired for their kung fu ability, were they?
No, but it's still quite big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's big. Sad. But are you happy about Cranston being the person who's going to be in the power?
It's interesting. I like him. I think he'll have a lot of fun with it, won't he?
Yeah, is he the good guy or the bad guy? I can't remember.
I think he's don't know. Elizabeth Banks is in it as well.
I thought he was going to be, oh yeah, she's like the evil person with the big stick. Yeah, that's what happened, because she had watched from like the moon, and then she had that big old stick that she'd throw down to Earth. They'd make the demons come.
Power them up, wouldn't it?
Oh, so good, so good. I used to love Power Rangers. Anyway, so this game, Macross Delta Scramble, it's really cool. It's a mech fighting game. There'll be guests from across the entire Macross series, and players will be enabled to use variable fighters that have 3 different forms of transformations. There's loads of screenshots also on nichegamer.com for this, so we look forward to that. I don't think there's any... Oh, there is a Japanese release date. It's coming out October 20th in Japan. And these screenshots do look very pretty. So if you like your mechs, if you like your big old robots, like your big toys, then I'm sure you're going to be excited for this game. So that is that. I'm going to talk about another game that's I think it was released today, actually, and I can't remember whether we've mentioned this before, but it's called Laser Disco Defenders, and it's out on PlayStation Vita now. And as you can imagine by that name, it does look like a lot of fun. So it is out on PlayStation Vita now. It'll set you back, how much is it going to be? £7.99 or £3.99 if you're on PlayStation Plus, which is good. This article describes it as a bonkers display of neon funk and sci-fi. The game is about as black as white as its title suggests. It's your job to defeat the evil Lord Monotone and stop him from using the coveted Mirror Moon to make the galaxy dance to his music.
It sounds great.
Does sound pretty fun. The game is pretty crazy, from its customizable characters to its self-inflicted laser quick step. Each level is randomly generated, making it one unpredictable mess, but in a good way. So there you go. If you like your crazy, colorful games and you love 70s music, then why not check out Laser Disco Defenders, which is out on PlayStation Vita now.
Sounds great. Sorry, was that out loud?
You know what? I'm just going to stop you there, because I'm going to bang out my last news story right now.
All right, you do. You go. You know what, Colin? I don't want to be a news block. You go ahead, son.
You are very good at news.
I'm just going to sit here and look at pictures of you on
catching
Facebook.
Meowth.
Oh, I wish.
Too soon. And I'm just going to brew my magma. Oh God, fucking magma. Anyway,
what CP is your magma?
I don't think that's really important.
Go on, what CP is it? Tell me how it will do against Steve the Seegsra.
He is a 361 Magma.
Cute.
But he looks
Very
really
cute.
cool. You know what? Fucking look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him in all his glory. Wow.
What a good pick. I just want to introduce you to Kira the Kingler.
I can't see. Your phone is so shit. Oh, we got an iPhone now, so maybe your phone isn't shit.
Just introduce you to Kieran the Kingler.
Can I see it again? Because your
Well,
webcam.
You stop talking, don't you? Because then you can see him. He's just a little 700, you know.
Fuck off.
Still 700 Kieran. Lovely Kieran.
Yeah, but have you got a bloody Rapidash? Woo! Rapidash.
Yes, I've got a Rapidash.
Oh, well, that's not as fun then, is it? But have you got, wait for it, a Horsey? Woo!
Babes, of course I've got Horsey. I've got Steve the Cedra. Okay, look, this is silly. Just do your news.
Right, so the last news story involves your Bay Terraria, the game that you love, the Minecraft clone that was 2D rather than 3D. And it's bad news, unfortunately. The good guys at the... I can't remember who developed this game. Who developed this game, Chris? You probably know.
I can't remember. What are they called?
Brilliant. So whilst you're Googling that, an update is coming to Terraria on PlayStation Vita, but unfortunately, it's going to be the last...
Relogic, they're called.
There you go. Unfortunately, it's going to be the last ever update that comes to PlayStation Vita. Oh,
ever?
So sad. Ever, yeah. It's the last update for Vita, Xbox 360, and PS3, which are all classed as old-gen consoles. So this update is going to give you quite a lot, though. It's going to give around 100 different updates. So let's go look and see what that includes. It's quite a lot of updates on here. I think what they're doing is pretty much fixing every single bug they know about, so that hopefully you shouldn't need another update. So this is currently being worked on my engine software. I don't know what that means, but the updates are going to include loads of bugs and loads of community suggestions as well. It's going to encompass over 100 fixes in total, but it is going to be the very last update for the PlayStation Vita version. It should be out around about September, so in a couple of months' time. But they also, the good news is, even though they won't be updating it anymore, you'll still be able to play the game offline and online. It's still going to be fully functioning, so you don't need to worry about that. So if you like your Terraria, I mean, look out for this update. It's going to be absolutely massive, but embrace it and enjoy it, because you won't be getting any more, unfortunately.
It's a bit of an end of an era, isn't it?
It's been out for a while, hasn't it? A couple of years.
Yeah, you can see maybe they're moving on to the next thing as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very popular. And I mean, I never really got into it. I remember I played it once, got stuck in a hole, and then just gave up. That was my experience of Terraria. But yeah, so that's coming September, and that's all my news. So it's all over to Chris now, who's going to give us the final.
Let's rattle through, because Metroid Prime Blast Ball is out now on the Nintendo eShop. It's a 3 versus 3 multiplayer sports game. You know Rocket League?
I've heard of it. Which
is like football with cars. Well, this is football with shooting. So you play up to 6 players. Blast Ball is kind of like training for Federation Force, which comes out in September. You use a character in a mech to run around this arena. You have to shoot at the ball. You can do little shots to move it a bit, or you can do a big charge one to move it on. So it's kind of like dribbling or shooting, I guess. You play as 3 versus 3. There's also like a dodgeball mode. And you can, there's different modes to this. I haven't had a chance to give it a try yet, but it's going to be the best kind of demo we'll get for Federation Force, which is obviously still fairly controversial. So I'll be getting it later on. It's actually currently free as well if you do want to download it. So I would recommend getting on that if you can. Colin, there's also news of Street Fighter. 3 games are being brought to the 3DS on the eShop, which are old Street Fighter titles, including Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter 2, and Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition, Hyper Fighting, which is Street Fighter 2 is like Turbo, is a lot of people's favorite version of Street Fighter. But one of the cool things about this is they've got this really interesting deal where up till the 11th of August, they've got buy 2, get 1 free. So you may as well buy the 2 to get the 3rd one free, you know?
Yeah.
So Street Fighter 2 Turbo is a good, it's a good version. Street Fighter is always pretty good fun, isn't it? And I'd be interested to see how people get on with those. And my last little bit of news is this is pretty big as well. You know how week after next, Colin, we're off to Rio to row in the Olympics.
Yes, we are. Me and you
Well,
are,
yeah, we can get some practice beforehand if you want, because there's now a free demo on the eShop for Mario and Sonic Rio 2016.
Wow.
So if you're so inclined, you can download that to your 3DS or your Wii U and just get some practice in for when you get the call up to the big day.
Wow, the big day.
I'm definitely there.
No Russians though.
Sorry,
What? You're right, mate. You're right.
beg your pardon.
I didn't say anything, mate.
Were you referencing the Olympic doping story or the Call of Duty level? Because either is kind of inappropriate.
Remember, no Russian. That was a great level, wasn't it? Did you
Yeah,
know
I don't know if I feel so comfortable playing it now.
Do you know that in that game, that level, no Russian, you could actually go through the whole level without shooting anyone.
Really?
Yeah, you just had to shoot your gun, because if you didn't, Makarov would turn around and shoot you and call you a traitor.
Yeah.
But what you had to do is just shoot above everyone's head. As long as you shot your
Right.
gun, you could get away with not killing anyone. So if you went for that level and killed people, you are a bellend.
I would. It'd be very interesting to see if Call of Duty were to make that level now. My prediction would be
way.
they wouldn't.
No chance whatsoever. I remember it's so cool. I can't believe they actually did it. I mean, it makes sense in terms of the plot of the game. I mean, when you look at it from the outside and you just think, oh, they've made a game where you shoot civilians in an airport, you think, what the F's that about? But then if you were, I mean, it's a sort you get the same sort of thing in a thriller, like in a big budget Hollywood thriller, you get a scene like that, I guess. But it's weird. But anyway, that was a good game.
Yeah, that was a good one. Let's should we sign off? What are you going to play this week? We've not done 99 apps. Let's do that.
Let's with my 10% of battery I've got left after.
So we do this every week. This is our way of making some sort of dent into the all the possible apps you can play on the mobile stores. So we go through the top chart, download the 99th option, and give you a little mini review of it. So it should be the same for both of us now, shouldn't it?
Yes.
So my 99 app is Sniper 3D Assassin Shoot to Kill free shooting game. Is that yours as well?
Let's have a look. What section are you looking on?
Top charts free.
I'm looking on top grossing, so ours will be slightly different.
Okay.
My 99th app is the official DVSA Theory Test Kits for £9.99. F off. Okay.
Well,
right, we're going to move up. On 98, we've got Clover Dating App. Okay, we're going to move up again from that. We'll go to number 97. Oh, no, I'm going to go to 96 because 96 is Micro Machines. Yeah, give me some of that. I'm going to download Micro Machines. Nice. So I'm getting Micro Machines. And what's your one again? Wow. Has Chris gone? He may have gone. But then again, it might be me. It's been disconnected. We wait. Oh, yeah, I remember when I downloaded Criminal Case. Good times. Oh, I also remember, I'm looking at all the apps here on the top grossing. Like, it's bringing back a load of memories because I get really, I can see the app that Chris downloaded as well, but I really get bored with apps quickly. I know that's the whole point with mobile gaming, really, isn't it? Like, you get a bit bored after about a week or so. On average, you play a game for about a week and then you get a bit bored of it. I'm just looking down the list here, and it's interesting to see because I'm recognizing loads of apps I played in the past. So one of those was the what was it now? Oh, it was the game I downloaded for this segment a few months ago. So Criminal Case. But I'm also looking at Angry Birds, Star Wars. I remember when I played that. The Kylie Jenner app. Yes, I played that as well. So many apps on here. Oh, there's one that's in Arabic. That's interesting. There's a TomTom app. Farmville. Oh, I seriously used to be obsessed with Farmville back when I was on Facebook. I don't know what's happening with Chris because it's very creepy. There's a dodgy still frame of his image on the Google Hangout. Oh, he's gone. He has gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep on talking because the broadcast will still go ahead as planned, and we wait for Chris. He's probably going to call me any second now. So whilst I'm doing this, we'll just do some. Oh, he's joined. Is he going to talk? He's saying that here he has joined the chat. I can't see any pictures of him though. Normally you can see like an image and we can see a video element. He didn't seem to be there. So whilst we wait for him to come back, let's talk. Oh, you're not there on mine. How interesting. What? Okay, so Chris has said he can't get back in. So let's just say goodbye, shall we? So this week's out, Chris is playing some sniper game. I'm playing Micro Machines. We'll review this and talk about it next week. But in the meantime, this time next week, very exciting. Batman Telltale will be out, and I know me and Chris are very excited for this. But thank you for listening to episode 146. It's been great, apart from Chris leaving. I'm looking out my window. I know this has nothing to do with ending the podcast. I'm looking out my window, and my next door neighbor, they're burning stuff in the garden. I hope it's not their kids. That'd be awkward. Anyway, that's been morbid. Right, so thank you for listening, everybody. I've been Colin. That was Chris, but he is gone. We've been Heroes of Handheld. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate your support with the podcast. You can find us every week on iTunes and Stitcher. Just search Heroes of Handheld. You can also go to heroesofhandheld.com, where you can find links to all our previous episodes. We're also on YouTube as well, where you can watch the video element of the podcast as well. What else can you do? You can find us on Twitter at Handheld Podcast. We're also on Facebook, just search Heroes of Handheld, and on Google Plus as well. So thank you for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Until then, Chris is texting me saying hello, what's going on? So it might be that I'm talking to no one, but we'll soon find out when I click the stop button on here. Thank you for listening, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.